You may already be making summer travel plans, but there are new requirements at the airport that could delay your trip if you are not prepared. Everyone must have a real ID by May 7th. It's coming up very quickly if you are going through TSA, which, let's be honest, if you're on airport, you're going through TSA. We got Electra Bustle, Senior Director of the Colorado DMV, joining us now live in studio. Electra, good morning.
Good morning.
I was just telling you, you would not believe how many emails and calls we are getting about this. I'm sure you guys are swamped as well.
We are, and we've updated our website and things like that to help people prepare and understand everything they need to know about the Real ID.
Let's help you, some people at home this morning with some of the questions that they wrote in. How are DMV times being affected by this?
Yeah, so great question. In Colorado, we're not seeing a big effect. We are an appointment only. We do take walk-ins if we have the ability to do it, but for the most part, 90% appointment only. And so our appointments are steady. In addition, the good news for Coloradans is we're 96% compliant, and we issued our first compliant card in 2013. So if you've renewed or got your first credential between 2013 and today, you're already Real ID compliant.
Okay, so good news for a lot of people who may have moved here in that time period. Now, speaking of, there are people who may have recently moved from another state that was not requiring those Real IDs at the time, so they might actually have to go ahead and try to get a new one.
They do, yes. And Colorado law is they're required to have one within 30 days of residency here in Colorado. So I would encourage folks to get online, get an appointment. They can actually apply online as well. So it's called pre-registration, and then they get into the appointment, and it's a lot quicker. The other thing is get online also at the DMV website and see what identification requirements you need to bring, because the Real ID requires you to prove identity, requires you to prove lawful presence, requires you to prove residency. And so it is not just come to the DMV.
Right.
You know, you have to go gather those documents before you get there.
Because they will send you back to get them, and then you have to wait all over again.
Yes.
I've been there, so I'm not shaming anybody.
Yeah.
I've been that person. I don't want you to be that person.
Yeah.
If you do, I'm going to put you on the spot real fast. Do you happen to know what those documents are that people need to be gathering right now if they have to go get that?
So we have a form. It's DR 2300A, B, or C, depending on your status. So for U.S. citizens and permanent residents, it's the 2300A. That's things like your passport, your birth certificate, naturalization. So there we have standalone documents that prove identity. And then we have, if you don't have those, we have two. You can bring one and something else. So we have that. On residency, you're going to need to bring maybe a lease, a utility bill, things like that in, and then your social security number if you're a U.S. citizen or a permanent resident. We also provide we provide credentials for undocumented as well as temporarily lawfully present. They have their own set of requirements. Part of those forms, again, get on the DMV website. There's a very easy chart that you can follow.
Okay, and I just want to ask you really quickly because, of course, as you mentioned, y'all are appointment only. If somebody does have to wait for an appointment that's past that deadline, what can they do in the meantime to travel?
Yeah, the TSA does have other acceptable documents. So TSA website, look up other acceptable documents. Things like your passport. You might have an employment card.
Yes, yeah.
You may have other documents related to, again, they're looking for identity when you get to TSA, so something that has a photo and is able to prove your identity, but look at that list.
Official government documents
Exactly.
that you probably have. All right, Electra, thank you so much. You don't know how big of a help you are to so many people this morning. Thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Let's